Have you ever found yourself in a constant chase for more money? You work harder, put in extra hours, or maybe even sacrifice things you love, all in the hopes of achieving financial freedom or success. You may tell yourself that if you just push a little harder, work a little more, then everything will fall into place. But what if I told you that chasing money the traditional way might be the very thing keeping it out of your life? We're going to explore a radical, yet empowering idea. Instead of chasing money, what if you become the vibration that attracts it? It sounds simple, but the power behind this shift in mindset is profound. It is a journey into the quantum realm of possibility, where thoughts, feelings, and beliefs directly shape your reality. We will uncover how you can change the way you think and feel, aligning yourself with a higher vibration that naturally attracts wealth. This is not about waiting for external circumstances to change, but about creating internal conditions that magnetize abundance toward you. Let's dive into how you can shift your approach to money and discover the wealth that has always been within you. At the heart of it all, money is energy. We've been programmed, often from an early age, to view money as a distant, elusive goal, something to chase after relentlessly, sometimes even at the cost of our well-being. What if that very mindset, the constant chase, is the very thing keeping money at arm's length? In a universe governed by quantum principles, where everything is interconnected, we're asked to view reality differently. This applies to the way we perceive not just relationships or opportunities, but money itself. Money is not an abstract, unreachable entity that we have to run after. Money, at its core, is energy. Just like thoughts, emotions, and vibrations, money moves and responds to the energies we put into the world. So, what if instead of relentlessly chasing money, we learned how to attract it by aligning ourselves with the right energy? The key here is not about exerting willpower to make money come our way, nor is it about mastering strategies or obsessing over tactics. It's about shifting from a mindset of scarcity and striving to one of abundance and receiving. Once you understand this fundamental truth, that money is simply energy, you unlock the path to attracting wealth instead of chasing it. Money, like all things in the universe, operates on frequencies and vibrations. When you raise your energetic frequency to match the vibration of abundance, wealth will naturally come to you. Everything in the universe, including your thoughts and emotions, sends out signals to the world. These signals create an energetic field around you, and the universe responds to that field, bringing people, opportunities, and resources into your life. You don't have to chase these things. You simply need to attract them. This process is rooted in the core principle of quantum physics. Everything is energy, and energy is always drawn to similar energy. How does this principle play out in real life? If you're constantly chasing money, your energy is likely rooted in a state of lack or urgency. Think about it. When you feel like you need money, the energy you're sending out is one of scarcity. Scarcity breeds more scarcity. But when you start to shift your focus away from chasing to attracting, you're aligning yourself with abundance. This doesn't mean you stop working or striving for success. It simply means that your efforts are no longer rooted in fear or desperation. In this quantum universe, the energy you put into the world comes back to you, amplified. When your thoughts and feelings are aligned with the energy of wealth and prosperity, the universe begins to bring those very things to you. The law of attraction isn't some mystical concept. It's a scientific principle rooted in the idea that we create our reality through our thoughts and feelings. This is the true power behind manifesting wealth, becoming the vibrational match to the abundance you seek. But how do you begin to shift your energy? It starts with recognizing that wealth is not a far-off destination or an elusive prize. Wealth is a frequency. And to tune into it, you first need to become aware of where you are energetically. One of the most powerful tools you have in your arsenal is intention. This isn't about writing down a list of material things you want. It's about getting clear on the feeling you want to experience. Intention is about clarity, not attachment. The mistake many people make is thinking that intention means putting conditions on their desires, but that's not the case. True intention is about setting a clear, unwavering focus on what you want without attaching emotional baggage or expectations to the outcome. When you're clear about your intention, you send out a powerful, unambiguous signal to the universe. This signal is what the quantum world responds to, as it knows exactly what you desire. However, the key is to release attachment to the outcome. If you begin to attach strings to your intention, like, I want more money but only if it doesn't affect my relationships, or, I want a promotion, but only if it doesn't come at the cost of my time, you're essentially muddying the waters. Your intention becomes mixed with doubt, fear, and restriction. Intention is about getting clear without attaching a need for specific conditions. It's about saying, I want to experience financial freedom, or I want to experience an abundance of opportunities, and trusting that the universe will deliver what's aligned with your highest good. It's not about controlling the exact form in which the wealth arrives, but rather trusting that it will come when you are energetically aligned. This process is deeply tied to your brain's creative center, the frontal lobe. When you clarify your intention, the frontal lobe engages, reaching out into the vast network of information stored in your brain. Your mind begins to pull together ideas, insights, and experiences to form a new vision. This is where visualization becomes powerful. As you begin to visualize your abundance, you create a mental picture, but it's the feeling of that abundance, the emotional charge, that really attracts the energy to you. Here is where the real magic begins. Emotions. Thoughts alone are powerful, but it's your emotions that are the true currency of the universe. You've heard the phrase, feel it to heal it, and in this context, it rings true. In order to attract wealth, you must feel wealthy. The energy of money responds to your emotions just as much as it does to your thoughts. The reason this is so profound is that your body is your unconscious mind. The body doesn't distinguish between an event that happens in your external world and an event that you vividly imagine in your mind. When you visualize yourself living in abundance, your body responds as though it's already happening. Your cells begin to prepare for that future, even if it hasn't yet manifested physically. But here's the critical insight. You cannot wait for money to feel abundant. You must feel abundant now. Most people make the mistake of thinking that once they have the money, they will feel the sense of security or freedom they desire. But in the quantum world, it works the other way around. You must feel the abundance now in order to attract it. When you align your emotions with your desires, when you feel successful, prosperous, and abundant in the present moment, you begin to shift your energy to match that of wealth. This doesn't mean pretending to have money when you don't. It means shifting your perception of what wealth is. Wealth isn't just the amount of money you have, it's a state of mind. It's about embodying the feeling of abundance, freedom, and security before it materializes. In essence, it's about living as if your desired reality is already happening, because when you align your internal state with that reality, your external reality will naturally shift to match it. The concept of mental rehearsal is a critical one in understanding how the brain creates our reality. Mental rehearsal is the practice of vividly imagining yourself experiencing your desired outcome, whether that's financial freedom, success, or an abundant life. This form of mental training allows your brain to experience the future as if it's already happening, which in turn creates new neural pathways. These new pathways prepare your brain to recognize and seize opportunities aligned with your intention when they appear. As you mentally rehearse your desired outcomes, you start to rewire your brain for success. This process helps to shift your mind from a reactive state, where you're constantly reacting to external circumstances, to a creative, proactive state where you are the one shaping your reality. But to truly manifest abundance, mental rehearsal alone is not enough. You must combine it with emotional alignment. When you rehearse with emotion, you're sending a much stronger signal to the universe. This is where the power of mental rehearsal truly lies, in the combination of clear intention, emotional alignment, and consistent visualization of your desired reality. Ultimately, money isn't something to chase, it's something to align with. Money, like all forms of energy, flows to the frequency of its vibrational match. If you want to attract wealth, you must first align with the energy of abundance in your mind, body, and emotions. Money follows energy. When you embody the energy of abundance, the universe will naturally bring wealth into your life. This doesn't mean sitting back and waiting for things to happen. It means consistently focusing your thoughts on abundance, aligning your emotions with that vision, and taking inspired action when the opportunities arise. By doing so, you become a magnet for everything you desire, including wealth. So, remember this. The true secret to wealth is not about chasing after it. It's about becoming the vibration that attracts it all. When you change your energy, you change your reality. The concept of the law of cause and effect is one that deeply influences the way we view our lives and the outcomes we experience. Traditionally, the majority of people have seen this law through the lens of external circumstances driving their emotional state. It's a common pattern to believe that a shift in your external world, a job offer, a salary increase, or even a financial windfall, will be the catalyst for you to feel good, fulfilled, or at peace. Essentially, people believe that the external world causes internal change, and that it's only when circumstances change that they can feel better about themselves and their lives. But in a quantum world, the law of cause and effect works differently. Here, the idea is not about waiting for the external world to change in order to feel good. Instead, we are the cause of the effect. Our thoughts, feelings, and actions can create the change we want to see in the world around us. In other words, to see a transformation in your reality, you need to start by transforming your internal world. This shift in perspective is powerful and liberating. It places the control of your life squarely in your hands. Instead of waiting for a paycheck to arrive or for an external event to trigger a feeling of satisfaction or success, you are empowered to take charge of your emotions and thoughts and create the world you desire. At the heart of this quantum approach is the understanding that we are creators of our reality. The external world is merely a reflection of our internal world. This shift away from being a passive receiver of life's circumstances to being an active creator of our experiences is what changes everything. In practical terms, if you want to see different results in your life, you must first change how you think and feel. The most profound way to do this is to change your personality. Your personality, a combination of your thoughts, actions, and emotions, directly shapes your current reality. If your thoughts are filled with doubts, fears, or beliefs of inadequacy, your reality will reflect those inner states. If you want a different reality, you cannot remain the same person, thinking the same thoughts, feeling the same emotions, and acting the same way. Your personality, shaped by your habitual patterns, is the lens through which you experience the world. And if you desire a new, more abundant life, you must change your internal programming. This may sound daunting at first, but the truth is that change is possible. It's not about waiting for life to give you an opportunity. It's about becoming the kind of person who would naturally attract those opportunities. By altering your inner landscape, your beliefs, your emotional responses, your daily actions, you begin to reshape the external circumstances of your life. In essence, the change starts within. The first step is to become consciously aware of your thoughts, emotions, and patterns. The question then becomes, how do you shift your personality, your internal world, to match the person you want to become? A major challenge for many is that they are emotionally attached to their past. These attachments to old identities, ones built on feelings of lack, struggle, or unworthiness, are not just mental or emotional, they are deeply ingrained in the body. Every time you feel a certain emotion, your body releases chemicals associated with that emotion. These chemicals reinforce the emotional pattern, creating a feedback loop where the body gets used to feeling a certain way, even if it doesn't serve you. For example, if you've struggled with financial insecurity for a long period of time, your body becomes conditioned to feel anxious or fearful whenever the topic of money arises. Even if new opportunities come your way, your body's emotional attachment to scarcity can block you from fully embracing them. This is the power of the old self, the one who believes in struggle, lack, or unworthiness. This emotional attachment is, in essence, an addiction. People can become addicted to their struggles, to their familiar discomforts, because it's what they know. It's what their body is conditioned to experience. And for some, stepping into a new identity, one of abundance and prosperity, can feel foreign, uncomfortable, or even unsettling. The first step to breaking free from this cycle is awareness. You must consciously observe the emotions that are keeping you attached to the past. These emotions may include fear, shame, guilt, or doubt. And then you must ask yourself, do I want to carry these emotions with me into the future? To break free from these limiting patterns, You must intentionally choose to adopt new thoughts, feelings, and behaviors. This takes effort, persistence, and willpower. It's not enough to simply think positively once or twice. To truly reprogram your internal world, you need to practice it consistently, day in and day out. Just like any other habit, emotional reprogramming requires repetition. When you wake up in the morning, instead of falling into the habitual thought patterns of scarcity or fear, practice gratitude for what you already have. Feel appreciation for your present life, even if it's not where you want it to be yet. As you practice this new way of thinking and feeling, you begin to alter your neurological pathways, rewiring your brain to support a new reality. This process is not instantaneous, and it won't happen overnight. However, with consistent effort, you'll begin to notice small shifts in your life. Opportunities will start to present themselves more frequently. People will enter your life who align with the new version of you. Doors that were once closed may begin to open. This is not coincidence. This is the law of cause and effect in action. You are the cause, and your thoughts and emotions are the effects that create your new reality. Persistence is key in this transformation. As you begin to shift your internal world, it's natural to encounter resistance. This resistance often comes in the form of old emotions or thought patterns trying to resurface. This is the old self trying to hold on, trying to keep you tethered to the past. But here's the truth. When you consciously choose new thoughts and behaviors, you break free from that old self. It's like learning to walk again. At first, it feels unnatural and challenging, but the more you practice, the easier it becomes. Eventually, the new patterns will feel more comfortable than the old ones. The ultimate goal in this process is to become the vibration of the reality you wish to create. As you change the way you think, feel, and act, you begin to embody the person you want to become. Instead of chasing after wealth or success, you become magnetic to it. You align yourself with the frequency of abundance, and because like attracts like, the opportunities you seek begin to flow toward you. This shift is not about forcing things to happen, it's about allowing them to unfold naturally. As you align with your desired reality, you begin to notice that the things you once thought were out of reach are now within your grasp. The relationships, the career opportunities, the financial freedom you've always wanted, they begin to show up in ways that feel effortless and aligned. The key to lasting transformation and manifesting the life you desire is maintaining a consistent and high vibration. In simple terms, this means becoming aware of your thoughts, emotions, and internal energy throughout the day. While external factors can influence your mood, the true shift comes when you manage your inner world, consciously choosing how you think, feel, and react to create the reality you want. It's about aligning your internal state with the future version of yourself and not waiting for the world around you to change first. To begin each day with intention, take a few moments to reconnect with the person you want to become, the version of yourself who has already achieved what you're striving for. Ask yourself, how would the wealthiest version of me think, act, and feel today? Imagine the mindset and energy of this future self. How would they navigate challenges? How would they make decisions, take risks, and express themselves? What would their energy feel like to others? By consistently revisiting this future version of yourself, you help reprogram your mind and body for the life you desire. Every time you choose to align with the emotions and energy of this future self, you send a powerful message to your brain and the universe, signaling that you are ready to step into the next chapter of your life. This practice is crucial for building momentum in the process of manifestation. When you live as if you are already the person you aim to become, your external world begins to mirror that energy. The relationship between your thoughts and emotions is fundamental to attracting the life you want. Thoughts alone are powerful, but it's when those thoughts are matched by the energy of your emotions that true transformation occurs. It's not enough to simply think about success or wealth. You must feel it as though it is already here. When you consistently align your emotions with the experiences you desire, you become a magnet for them. This alignment involves maintaining an elevated state of consciousness, where positive, abundant thoughts are followed by emotions that reflect those thoughts. The more you cultivate this feeling of abundance, joy, and confidence, the more your vibration rises. When you live in this high vibrational state, Your energy sends out a signal that attracts the people, opportunities, and circumstances that match that frequency. Over time, your reality begins to shift because your mind and emotions have aligned with the frequency of your desires. Consistency and repetition play a crucial role in the process of transformation. Your current habits, thought patterns, and emotional responses were not created overnight. They formed through repeated actions and thoughts over time. To change, you must establish new patterns of thinking, feeling, and behaving. Every morning when you wake up, consciously choose to feel abundant and empowered. Start your day by practicing thoughts that inspire you, emotions that uplift you, and actions that align with your long-term goals. In time, these new practices will become second nature, and your brain and body will adapt to this higher frequency. With each repeated action, you solidify your new identity and increase the likelihood of attracting the opportunities and circumstances that align with your desires. This process isn't about forcing yourself into a certain state. It's about slowly rewiring your brain and body to make high-vibrational living your default. The more often you practice maintaining this elevated state, the more natural it becomes. Soon enough, you won't have to consciously think about raising your vibration. It will happen automatically. As you continue to raise your vibration each day, it's important to reinforce the new habits and beliefs that support your transformation. Your brain is wired to recognize patterns and create pathways based on repetition. So, to make these changes stick, you must be intentional about practicing these new thoughts and emotions consistently. For example, to manifest financial abundance, you might practice gratitude daily for the wealth you already have, no matter how small. You might visualize yourself living the life you want, imagining the feelings of success, freedom, and joy that come with it. The more you immerse yourself in these feelings, the more you reprogram your brain to expect and recognize abundance as a normal part of your life. This repetition forms the neural pathways that make your new high-vibration self the default. The more you focus on abundance, the more your brain will start to align with that belief. With practice, you will naturally feel abundant even before the physical manifestation of wealth arrives. This shift is powerful because your outer reality begins to match the energy you've been projecting. Your external world is not separate from your internal world. It's a mirror of it. As you increase your internal vibration, the world around you reflects that change. Momentum is essential for sustaining this high vibration state. At first, it may feel challenging to maintain a positive, empowered mindset every day, but with consistent practice, it becomes easier. Momentum is what makes transformation sustainable. Once you start seeing the results of your efforts, such as new opportunities, increased abundance, or a shift in your relationships, the energy you've been putting out will begin to multiply. When you experience small wins or breakthroughs, you'll feel more motivated to continue cultivating that energy. This positive feedback loop creates a sense of excitement, reinforcing your belief in your own power to create change. As your vibration rises, it becomes easier to maintain that state. Over time, this process becomes automatic, and you no longer have to work as hard to stay aligned with your desires. As you continue to focus on maintaining your high vibration, it's important to practice patience and trust the process. Transformation doesn't always happen overnight. Sometimes, the manifestations you seek take time to materialize. However, the more you stay consistent with your thoughts, emotions, and actions, the more you will see changes in your external reality. Trust that the universe is responding to the energy you are putting out, even if you don't see immediate results. Remember, you don't have to wait for external circumstances to change in order to feel abundant or successful. The law of attraction works when you embody the emotions of what you desire before it arrives in your life. By continuing to practice maintaining your vibration, you're setting the stage for your desired reality to manifest at the right time.